Hello there, welcome to another monthly reset. Today we're going to be chatting about how my last couple months have been since I've been off YouTube and what my goals and plans are for July. Okay, so the last time I filmed one of these was in April, like I said, so it's been a couple months. I had some goals and things and I accomplished them, so we'll just go through them really quickly. So one of my goals was to do an activity a month and I did manage to do that, and I've been doing that like actually pretty consistently for the last few months. So in April I did afternoon tea with my friend, which was great. I went to afternoon tea like last year at the same place, and this year it was just as good. But yeah, so that was fun. And then other things that I did or had, a goal set to do was to read one book, which I did do that, and I'll chat about the book because it's actually one of my favorites. And then another thing was to drop off some donations, which I did. I dropped off a bunch of stuff to Goodwill, so I'm happy about that. I need to do that again because I just have a bunch of stuff. But we'll save that for a later date. And then the other thing that I had to do was a weekly dating check-in. So basically that just means like checking into these apps and going through matches and interacting with people as needed. And I did do that in April. Other things to do were I had to trim my hair, did that, place a Sephora order. It seems so far away. And I actually ended up having a few favorites from my Sephora order. So we'll talk about that later as well. And then I booked my Pilates classes, and I'll talk about this in my vlog from my last vacation, but I needed to get a refund for the visa that I had to get for Turkish Airlines, and how I ended up in Turkey is a whole another situation, which is going to be in the vlog. But yeah, that's going to be it for my April goals. And now we're going to move on to finances. What's new in finances? I do a budget every month. So I've already filmed the budget for July, where I talk about how much I plan to spend for July. And then I also talk about how much I spent in June. Additionally, I chat about a few new things financially. The most exciting of them being that I ended up getting another job, and I ended up getting a new travel reward card, which is the Venture X. So I chat about all of that in the budgeting video, so if you're interested, go ahead and watch that. Now we're gonna move on to favorites. So I have these like in about 4 categories. So the first of them is media. So every summer there's like for me anyway, there's like a dry spell of like shows that are good to watch. So I was bored one afternoon as I wouldn't say I'm bored every afternoon, but I'm like, when I can't find something to watch, like it's a little bit annoying. But anyway, I ended up clicking on this show and actually quite liked it. It's called Drops of God. It's interesting because it's not something that I would normally watch. So it's about, basically it revolves around wine, and I love wine, but I'm not like a wine connoisseur by any means. But the good thing about the show is that it's the story that's really captivating. So if you like a good story, definitely would not miss it. It's just done very well, so I really enjoyed that show. And then in terms of books, my favorite book while I was MIA from YouTube, I did a lot of reading, which I love, but I ended up getting this book. It's the Anne Bishop Black Jewel trilogy. So it's 3 books in one, so you can see it's quite thick, but it's Daughter of the Blood, Heir to the Shadows, and Queen of the Darkness. So I ended up getting this book because I finished all of the ACOTAR series, and I'll put up what that is, but you've seen them in my favorites before. But I was feeling I was like grieving the loss of that series because it was like so good. So I was looking for something else to read, and this came up as one of the suggestions. So it's similar in some ways as in like the characters, like that is a fantasy book, the ACOTAR series, and this is also a fantasy book. So it has like similar things like hot winged men, which I'm all about. And it's been suggested that some of the things from this book were borrowed or used in the ACOTAR series. So anyway, if you like that book, then you may like this one. This one is a little bit more, I don't know, like it has a little bit more disturbing themes in there, let's just say that, which if you can get past, there are like lots of other good characteristics about the book. So anyway, I enjoyed reading that book as well. And then other things that I have been loving are, I have a few things. Normally I have one or two, usually just one thing, but I discovered some new things while I was on hiatus. So this is the most recent one. This is the African Pride Moisture Miracle Aloe and Coconut Water Detangle and Condition Pre-Shampoo. I was watching a video, like, you know, like I've been struggling with my hair. I've mentioned that before. So I was like watching some wash day routines on YouTube, and somebody was using this, and everyone in the comment was like talking about how good this was. And I was like, I've never heard of this. Like, African Pride is something that has existed for years. And I remember when the only hair care products that we had, like African American people, were the ones that you could find in the beauty supply store. And this was one of those brands for sure. So that's the last time I ever paid attention to African Pride. Like, ever since the natural hair care movement and like better quality products have come out, like I haven't looked back at like any of those beauty supply store brands, but this is surprisingly good. So it's basically just a detangler that you use before you shampoo, and it tangles like ridiculously well. Like, I was surprised, and it's like a weird jelly consistency. The first ingredients are water, glycerin, guar, aloe vera, coconut fruit juice. So it has some good ingredients to start, and it does a really good job at detangling. The interesting thing about it is that it actually gave some curl definition as well. Like, my hair was super curly, which is interesting because my hair, as you can see, is not exactly like a curl pattern type of hair texture. It's definitely more on the zigzag side, but this like got it to curl up, so it was interesting. And of course it detangles like marvelously. And then in combination with this moisturizing shampoo that I just got, which is one of my favorites now too, it like really made my hair feel very moisturized and detangled, so I love that. Next up is something that I got from my Sephora order. It's the Necessaire The Body Exfoliator. So this is in the eucalyptus scent. They have other scents, but as you guys know, I love eucalyptus everything. So this is really nice because it's both a physical and chemical exfoliant, and I am obsessed with exfoliating, guys. Like, I stay exfoliating. In fact, I just used this like before for my shower just now before I came on camera. But it's really nice. Like, it makes your skin feel super smooth after you're done, and the beads are super tiny so they don't feel like abrasive. And then it also has like a lather slash foaming component, so it's like a good combo of like lather and scrubbing. So I don't know, it's just like really good, and it smells amazing. The Necessaire like eucalyptus scent is like so good. I wish they made it in a candle or some sort of like home fragrance because I really love how it smells. But yeah, it's definitely a fave. And then the other thing that I've been loving are these water bottles. So this is a Yeti water bottle. I was like searching for water bottles because one, I lost one, and I was in the need for better ones. But anyway, I found this on Amazon. It's a little bit expensive. It's like $25, but I don't know. I mean, it's worth it because I like it, but then I don't feel like it doesn't need to be $25, but that's the cheapest price I could find. But the good thing about it is, one, it's aesthetically pleasing. They have other colors. They're all like translucent. It has like a handle, so you know, when I'm like out for my walks, etc., I can like bring it with me and hold it. And then it has like a spout, so you don't have to dunk water on yourself like when you try to drink it from the top. Like, if you try to drink it like this, depending on what you're doing, like, you're more likely to spill water on yourself. But I like that it has a spout on there. So yeah, this has been really nice. I actually got another one, so I have two now. I didn't like the other colors, or so I probably would have bought more, but I got two colors that I like. So yeah. And then other favorites, so experiences. I did a lot of things like when I was away, not because I was away, but just because the timing, as you guys know, it's like summer, spring, so like everyone's just in a better mood and everyone's just trying to I just accidentally like started dictating what I was saying on my notes app, which is fun actually. Maybe I might use that in the future now that I discovered that. But back to what I was saying, experiences. Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff with my friends. Like I said, I went to afternoon tea, and I actually went to California to visit my friend for a week, which was really nice. We did a bunch of great stuff. We went to this really nice spa. Like, oh my God, it was like so good. It was like in the, cause she lives in Northern California, California, so it was like in the woods and stuff, and I just had like a woodsy theme, but it was like a good kind of woodsy cabin theme, not like the cheesy woodsy cabin theme, but it was just really good. And then I went out with my friend after work, which I don't normally do because I'm usually just ready to get out of there like at the end of the day, but this was really nice to hang out. And then my one friend has a pool, so we did like a pool day. It was like so fun. The weather was perfect. It was just great. So I had a lot of great times with my friends who I don't see very often because, you know, everyone has kids and a family, etc. And I'm like the only single one, but yeah, it was nice to see them. Now we're gonna move on to what my plans are for July. So I like to bring this goal down every month because it forces me to like make an effort to do things. So this goal is to do an activity once a month. So normally I do like my usual routines, like go to Pilates, go on walks in the summer, etc. But like I need to start doing a little bit more. So I might have a few things in the works. Like there's a free yoga in the downtown that I might go to. I might go to dinner, and my friend might be having something for 4th of July, so I might do that as well too. So I have a few things to do, so I should be able to accomplish that goal. And then my other goal is to read a book. Since I have gone back to effectively working full-time now, like I have not been reading as much like when I'm away from work because I don't know, I would rather, it's not that I would necessarily rather do other things with my free time. It's just like I've decided to do other things with my free time versus read. So I want to like get back into reading. I've just been like, I don't know if I would say on edge, but just like I have not been in the mind space to read a book. But I did manage to get through a third of this book. So I'm here, and this is Dance of Thieves. So far it's been good. So it's not the book that's the problem. It's like me and my like mental things. So hopefully I can finish that in July. And then the other thing on the goals list is the weekly dating check-in. I've kind of been slacking on this in the last few weeks because I did manage to do something new. So I signed up for Tinder. I know what you're thinking. Tinder is terrible. I've used it before, but the reason I signed up for it this time is because it has the Tinder Global feature. So you can meet people in other parts of the world, which I love because you guys know I'm always traveling and I am open to dating people from other places and even moving to another place. So I got Tinder Gold. Is it Gold? I don't know. I have some version of Tinder that's like beyond the basic that I paid for, because the other nice thing about that is that you can see who likes you from the jump. You don't have to like swipe all the time, which I hate swiping. So it's nice that you get to see who already has like swiped yes to you. So that's the new thing that I did, but at some point it got a little overwhelming and like redundant. It was just not doing what I needed to do. Like the guys effectively are the same as, or they behave the same as the guys in America. So I don't know. I've like done a few countries so far. So what did I do? I did London because I'm going to London. I mean, these are cities. So, you know, you pick a city in like whatever country. So London I did, Paris I did, Amsterdam, which was the worst in terms of quality of men, which is interesting. I've been to Amsterdam and I enjoyed it. But then again, I wasn't really checking for the men necessarily. So that, I don't know. Maybe that like means something. And then where else? I'm in Madrid right now and I have plans to like check out other cities as well, but so far it's like not turning out the way I wanted it to, but you know, we gotta try. So that's what's happening on the dating scene. Next thing I have in terms of goals is, as I mentioned in my previous video about, what video was this? Oh yeah, my July budget. I was chatting about how much I'm into fitness now. So I gotten back into weightlifting. I had to stop because I injured my back like a year and a half ago. So I switched to Pilates to help to straighten my core, which effectively helps to strengthen your back as well. So once I got like the mechanics of like bracing your abdomen and like working from the core, then I decided to like get back into weightlifting, because weightlifting is like the only thing that has been able to change my body and help me to develop muscle. So I've been weightlifting. I have an entire squat rack. No, I'm like so into this. Have a squat rack. I've already had a barbell, but I needed the squat rack so I could like, you know, squat heavier, because otherwise you have to like get the barbell up over your head versus having the rack. You can just you know, go under the rack with the barbell on your shoulders. So that's nice. So my goal is to increase my lifting weight. So I'm focusing on my squat. Like right now I'm squatting 75 pounds, and I started off at 55 pounds when I started this whole fitness thing in the last few months. So now I'm up to 75 and I want to get to 80. So my goal is to squat 80 pounds. Other thing that I want to do this month is to invest some money. So I have not invested since maybe like March of this year, because that's about the time that I went part-time. And as I mentioned before, I was like spending money beyond what I needed to be spending, so I did not have money to invest. And even if I wasn't spending that money, like I would not have very much money to invest anyway, because my budget didn't allow for that. But I do invest, as in I have money taken out of my paycheck beforehand to max up my 401k/403b, and then I always save for my Roth IRA. So I was investing in that way, but I wasn't investing beyond that in my brokerage account, which is what I historically have done in my goal to become financially independent. So now that I have another job, I'm back to making about the same amount of money that I was making before. So I should be able to invest once I like sort through these payments. I have a lot of things coming up on the schedule, like vacations, etc., and those are expensive. So once I figure that out, hopefully I'll be able to invest some extra money and get back into that, because that is one of the reasons that I decided to go back to work. Is one, I want to pay off my car loan, and two, I really don't need to invest necessarily beyond what I'm doing, but it's always a good idea to like save money, because one day I might actually just stop working entirely. Right now I'm like, you know, I had thought that working part-time would be okay, but I'm thinking, I don't know, like work is, they just like control your life entirely too much. Like you're always at their beck and call, and you can't go where you want to go and do what you want to do, and I'm kind of like ready for a break from that. So it's always nice to have some extra money in case I decide to take a sabbatical from work. So that's it for goals. Let's move on to to-dos. So all of this has to do with my vacation that's coming up. I mentioned that I'm going to be going to the UK, Switzerland, and France. So actually this is going to be a trip with my friends. My one girlfriend is going to be there for the first 2 weeks, and then my other girlfriend will be there for the last week. But we need to buy some tickets. She wants to go to the Eiffel Tower, and the tickets you have to pre-book them because they get booked up like super quick. So I have to wait until the tickets are released for when we're going. And then in London, there's this place called the Sky Garden, which I don't know if it existed when I went to London like 10 years ago or something, but it looks super cute, and the tickets are also hard to get, but they're only available like weeks before the time that you want to go. So I need to like make sure I can get that booked. And then I still need to book a couple more hotels for Switzerland, and then on my way back from London with my other girlfriend, I need to book a hotel for that. So those are the things that I have going on for July. So guys, that's gonna be it for my July reset. I'm feeling pretty good about July in terms of like accomplishing things and getting things done. Like I don't think it'll be a problem. I am working a ton compared to how I used to work for those 3 months. So I was working part-time, so just a few days a week, and now I'm back to basically like a full work week, which is not that great, but I'm trying to think of the end goal. That's how I do about everything. I'm like, what is my end goal? My end goal is to like stack some money and get some things done. So I try to think about that to get me through like the fact that I'm, you know, I wanted to say something, but I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, so that's basically it for the July reset. Let me know what you guys have going on for July, what your plans are, what you thought about my plans. Anything of that regard, you can leave it in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.